We're live. Good night, Mr. Wade.
Good night. Good night. Good night to our viewers, both at home and abroad. Welcome once more to our Belizean Affairs show number 190.
Wow.
190, Leonard. It's always a pleasure to sit in your company, Leonard. Um, we have,
The,
we
ple-
there.
the, ple- the pleasure is mine, Mr. Chairman. The pleasure is mine, sir. Believe me.
Thank you. I I just hope that over this 190 episode of our Belizean Affairs show, Leonard. I just hope that you know our viewers and listeners, and especially the poor and less fortunate, had benefited, had taken away something from our programs. Because we here on this program, we tell it like it is, not like the other media houses that you know out of a whole sentence, they dissect and they put across what they
We don't,
want the
Mr.
public.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
we don't sugarcoat it, especially since sugar gone so high.
So right on that, Leonard. But we have a very nice program set out for tonight. It's all about what's taking place in our little Belize, um, the ills, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes,
We
sir.
call it out. So, on that note, we always start our program with a prayer and then followed by a reading. I'll ask Mr. Leonard Brackett to lead us in prayer, and we should be joined shortly by Leonard Brackett, our next host. So, on
Gregory,
that note, Leonard, lead us in a prayer, please.
you're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for the privilege. Divine loving Father, once again we come before thy presence, asking that thou mayest accept our humble expression of gratitude for the privilege that thou hast given us to have been born, and secondly, to still be alive among our family members, friends, and loved ones, and our people, our Belizean people, at home and abroad. We thank thee for thy multiple bountiful blessings to us, to our family members, to our children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, to our spouses, or next loved ones. We pray that thou mayest continue to bless our brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles and aunts and our children as well. Please bless the rest of humanity, loving Father. Thou knowest our trials and travails. Thou knowest the difficulties that some people are experiencing, sometimes no fault of their own. We pray that thou mayest have mercy upon those people who are in areas where there's wars going on, killing and mayhem and all sorts of destruction and deprivation, starvation, medical needs. We pray that thou mayest bless those people who have need of food, clothes, shelter, especially those who are in hurricane areas and those who are in tornado areas. We pray that thou mayest continue to abide with us. Bless us all. We ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Leonard, for that warm prayer.
You're welcome, sir.
I will continue a reading here, Leonard, from Proverbs chapter 28, and I'll continue from 12 to 24. It says, when the righteous triumph, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, people hide themselves. Whoever conceals his transgression will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsake them will obtain mercy. Blessed Blessed is the one who fears the Lord always,
Amen.
but whoever hardens his heart will fall into calamity. Like a roaring lion or a charging bear is a wicked ruler over a poor people. A ruler who lacks understanding is a cruel oppressor, but he who hates unjust gains will prolong his days. If one is burdened with the blood of another, he will be a fugitive until death. Let no one help him. Whoever walks in integrity will be delivered. But he who is crooked in his ways will suddenly fall. Whoever works his hand, his land, will have plenty of bread. But he who follows worthless pursuit will have plenty of poverty. A faithful man will abound with blessing, but whoever hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, but for a piece of bread a man will do wrong. A stingy man hastens after wealth and does not know that poverty will come upon him.
Mhm.
Whoever rebukes a man will afterwards find more favor than he who flutters with his tongue. Whoever robs his father or his mother and says, "That is no transgression," is a companion to a man who destroys. A greedy man stirs up strife, but the one who trusts in the Lord will be enriched. Whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. Whoever gives a poor, whoever gives to the poor will not want, but he who hides his eyes will get many of a curse. When the wicked rise, people hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increases. That's my reading from Proverbs chapter 28, 12 to 28. Leonard,
Yes, sir.
do you have something you want to put across to your viewers and listeners before I go
I want
into my little
uh,
reading and
yes, sir.
then
I'll take the
the
opportunity.
little meat of what we will talk about actually will come after I do my little, you know, uh, venting and a little sober reminder to my people, both at home and abroad. Go ahead, Leonard.
Uh, just 1 second, sir. I just want to launch this stuff here. Just 1 second, Mr. Reed. I do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop what I'm doing here. I was trying to hit the last few keys just so this part of the program
Yes,
can get
yes,
launched.
yes, yes, yes.
But I'll just what I have to say would be short. No? So um, first of all, thank you for the privilege to be able to have the opportunity to say something before you launch your program. And what I would like to say is, as the primary promoter of the program, I want to be I want to express my personal gratitude to you for being the chairman tonight and all the other Wednesday nights and some other time that you act as chairman as well as you act in the capacity as one of our senior panelist member, and all the effort and things that you bring to the table and things that you do in order to facilitate making this program work the way it has worked in the past, all your knowledge, your experience, your fortitude, your strength, your character, everything that you have brought and put on this particular platform on behalf of your countrymen, Belizeans, at home and abroad. I personally want to also say thanks to Gregory for doing the same. Mr. Gregory Brackett is also one of our other panelists and also chairman for the Monday night programs. And you guys, when I sit with you, sometimes I get cold feet because I know some of the things that we talk about and what we present to the general public, a lot of time has not hit the news room yet. But because of our patriotic commitment to educating our people and trying to make sure that they are not bamboozled as often or as much as these jackals try to do, I want to say thanks to both of you, as well as thanks to the people who listen to our program. They take their valuable time, spend an hour and a half on our broadcast every time to listen to what we have to say or contribute. And I hope that they all derive some public benefit from the endeavor. I would like to say that while we're at 190th show, which I think is commendable because when we first started out, we didn't thought that we'd have been here this quick. But God has
Amen
blessed
to
us
that.
with health and strength and courage and endurance and all the other virtues that we have been able to partake of. And as a result, I can say personally, I'm really grateful for the way the program turned out and all the supportive comments that we have had from people and the increase in numbers on a regular basis. You know, the numbers just keep increasing and increasing.
Amen to that.
People know that we're out there now, and they see that we're serious and committed, and we're not no charlatan, just trying to be on the airwave, you know,
Uh,
bantering back and forward and taking up people's time, valuable time.
we are
I don't
not
want to.
about that, Leonard.
Yes, definitely not, Mr. Wade. And I don't want to take up that much more
No, go
time.
ahead,
I
Leonard.
want
Go
to
ahead.
say, no, I just wanted to say thanks to the general public for their support, for their listening to what we have to say, and the contribution that they make in terms of comments and other things that other people aggregate to the show. Because there are other people who don't listen when we're on live, but they listen at their one time when they get an opportunity to do so, sometime late at night, or maybe when they're between break at work, or maybe sometime on weekends. You know, there are different people that have different schedules, you know. But we're grateful and we just want to express that gratitude. And that's, thank you very much, Mr. Wade, for giving me the opportunity to say that. So I yield back.
Thank you, thank you, Leonard, for that warm contribution.
Welcome,
Um,
sir.
rightfully says Leonard, we are about people and nation. We are not here to get any grandstand, or if we get it, it's okay. But we are not about that. We are about calling out the wrongs in our country as how we see it. We are about betterment. We are about upliftment. We are about uplifting our people. We are about educating our people. We are about telling them, what is wrong. We not only call out the ills, we sometimes, give our input on how things could be better. We lobby for the unjust that 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 is brought upon the poor and less fortunate. Those that can't even afford an attorney to seek justice. We
Provide.
we Well, Leonard, that Friday night constitutional input, that the constitutional hour that you originated, and you educate the public about their right, their constitutional right? And I know, Leonard, that there is a lot of people who had benefited who didn't even know anything about their constitutional right? But because of our show, right, they they know when injustice has been done to them. They know when they have been taken advantage of. So, I thank you, Leonard, for that, for that great idea that you had. And we started
Mr.
that.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, sorry for interrupt you, sir, but on that point that you just raised, I also had another hope or intentions that somehow or another, hopefully before I die, I could see it come to fruition, but that in Belize, some of the lawyers, them and other interested people would come together and provide us or provide the public with some way of being able to sue whichever government is in power that is misbehaving and abusing our populace. Like how we have over here the Civil Liberties Union here in the United States, that people can go and ask them to take up their case and they'll fight for them. I'm hoping that somehow or another we can, at some point in time, arrive at where we can put something like that in place. It may not, I mean, it's not necessarily going to be the same thing, no, the same, because that that organization over here is an old organization, but it's well resourced and it has the ability to be able to sustain the agendas that they pursue. We will be starting off, hopefully, not too long in the future, and hopefully, as we go along, other people will join and make it a stronger and a more capable organization. We know we have an organization that help people in Belize with cases, and then we have some lawyers that try to support or give their help pro bono to some people. But there is a need for a strong enough organization that can take the government to task with some of these violations that our uh, politicians are doing to our people. And it takes resource, commitment, and knowledge. And hopefully we'll arrive there at some point. I just wanted to point that out because you touched on the subject or on the point, and I wanted to elaborate to
Justice.
say that behind the scene, there's other things that's probably going to work out at some point. We don't know how long it's going to take, but that's our hope and
That's
aspiration. Thank you very much, Mr. Will, Mr.
that's
Chairman.
very good, because, Leonard, you know it, and I know it, that it's so lacking in this country. And before I get off that subject, that man Courtney, right? He stood up in the house.
Mm-hmm.
If you could, if who don't believe me, could revisit, because
We have the tape.
listen, that man got up in the house and he says he wants so much money for a legal aid clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on because people, like what we just said, is needed, and you have poor people who can't afford it, and he want to be able to have some attorneys here that they could go and consult for free, and this and that whole sweetness, Mr. Man, has that endeavor ever came to fully um, access for the Belizean poor people, Mr. Man?
He
If
departed
not,
his assignment and never did pull it off.
if not, Mr. Man, I would like for you at some point before you ride off in the sunset, come to the taxpayers of this country and tell them what you did with that money you had asked for, where it went, and how much, and who got it. Okay, Mr. Man?
Maybe that's
Not your
something that we
money.
can build, Mr. Weird. Maybe that's something that we can build on to get to where we are trying to get to, as I said
Okay, yes,
earlier.
sir.
All these bits and pieces fit
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
whether it's UDP or PUP, it don't matter. People's civil liberties must be adhered to and fought for. We just can't
Exactly.
have these government, running roughshod just because they're the government. We gotta discipline these guys, and that's the way to discipline them.
So, Leonard, we on this show, we don't play around. If you're good, you done good with the taxpayers' money, we'll say you done good.
Amen to
If
that.
we demand accountability, Leonard, we need accountability because that man on that one incident didn't come out his pocket or went
Mm-hmm.
to his Belize bank or wherever bank he have across the world
Mm-hmm.
and withdraw that money that he begged for in the house.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mr. Man, it was the taxpayers' money of Belize. Okay?
Well said, Mr. West.
So, no bite my tongue on that. And that's just one instant. There are many more that, Leonard, I think that these people at some point should be held accountable. No, they get all these money, Leonard, you hear them? Millions in the house. They want money for this, money for that, and who stopped them, Leonard? Nobody. They get this money with no accountability. They, account to no one. Past government, they come and go with no accountability, Leonard, with all this money.
Mr.
And
Chairman,
what does the public have to show? That's my thing.
uh, Mr. Chairman, that is the reason why these so-called leaders, don't want UNCAC to be facilitated because we are already a signature to the convention, but our local government have to put into place some enabling laws, and both the UDP and the PUP have refused to do so because they don't want to be caught up in that same web. They want to be able to be free to fleece. They don't want no accountability. When they are out of government and the other party is in, they always talk a good talk. But when they have the governance power in their hands, they go rogue and pretend that we, the people, are the problem. And they are doing us a favor by treating us the way they treat us. But I yield
Exactly.
back, sir. Sorry, thank you
You're
for
so
letting
right
me
on
chip
that,
in there
Leonard.
this
And
time.
UNCAC is a thing that we have been bidding for years now. We're calling them out on UNCAC. It came from your mouth. We are going to implement UNCAC. Uno term nearly finished. Uno the run from it, right? But yet, Uno lied to the Belizean people. Lied, outright lied. Unless maybe enact it maybe one day before general election. So I take that back, right? Which
Mr. Chairman,
I know damn well. Go ahead.
sorry for interrupting you again. If they were going to do or put UNCAC in place, a lot of them currently would have been in jail already, or should have been in jail, or been prosecuted, or they should have been dispossessed of some of the riches that they have accrued that don't belong to them. The enrichment
Exactly.
on, or how they call it, the new law when they passed the idea about something with enrichment,
Unexplained wealth.
unexplained wealth and enrichment. Okay, and
There you
how they
go.
do with our. In fact, we have laws on our book right now that some of them should be in jail as a result because the prime minister, as minister of finance, keep
So
violating our constitution and our financial regulations
over
and
and
our
over,
financial and our laws. Are you back,
using
so
his office,
we could deal with those.
using his office, Leonard, using his office.
Exactly.
Is that where he sworn? Is that what he's sworn to do, Leonard?
No,
Uses his office?
no. Otherwise, man get the powers of ascension granted to him.
So,
He lied
Leonard,
in order to get it, and then he turned around
I
and
just
betray us.
hope and pray that at some point, at some time in this country, there will be a government. I'm not talking about the PUP government or the UDP government, a new system that will be in place that will hold all of you, all that had done wrong to the people and country, right?
Maybe, Mr. Chairman, maybe
If you're
one of such.
90,
Sorry.
99, 100, you should still be held accountable for your actions.
Mr. Chairman?
Things that you have
Sorry.
obtained illegal should return back to the country, right? What is yours is yours, but what is not yours should be returned back to the people and country. I just hope and pray that one day, Leonard, that's what I hope and pray for, that it happens.
Mr. Chairman, these guys are speeding up the process of wanting to get the country into a republic. But they don't understand that as quick as they get there, they will have serious issues to contend with. Because people will then take the powers of their governance into their own hands and vanquish some of these knuckleheads, okay? Including their personal wealth, which is why some of them have foreign accounts. So they could push us towards that direction and think that there's no consequence to be had because they feel like they don't have mighty powers, that they will keep us all disciplined. They don't understand that they will be the ones to get disciplined. Not by the military, not by themselves, not by the courts, but by private individuals who will bring them to account. Because that now almost happened to Mr. Musa before, and he can tell them about it, which is why I keep asking him to talk to the man before the man get too elderly and senile and can't give them information that they could turn around and respect, because they need to know the time of the day. But I yield back, sir.
So, Leonard, thanks, for, that we do not forget, and I do not forget, and I hope that the Belizean people do not forget, right? So, we will constantly, through this medium, we will be constantly reminding them, Leonard, of their wickedness and their evil doings. It's been happening and it's still happening today as I speak. And they're out there whining and dining, all on the backs of the poor people and taxpayers of this country. But anyway, my people, yet again we are seeing the aggressiveness of the Guatemalan in the Sarstone. Right? And sadly, there is no one to be talking about it, to be protecting us, to be seeking redress, to be telling the Guatemalan president that you should cease and desist. But what the prime minister does, he's there visiting the Guatemalan president and having cocktail and like nothing happened, right?
He doesn't
This
care.
latest aggression, Leonard, in the Sarstone, I'm pretty sure, Leonard, that this man had not uttered a word.
He
To
doesn't
not
care.
even this present one, the past aggression to this Guatemalan president.
None of them care. The past ones they ride off into the sunset with their millions as well, right? They tell you that we
Exactly.
got the best lawyer money could buy. We got ironclad case, right?
There you go.
Then
There you go,
turn
from
and
their
twist
own
and
mouth.
bamboozle the people and haul and pull the constitution, change the constitution to facilitate them getting what their master may encourage them to do.
And
Now that they have gone on into retirement, we are left behind holding the bag as usual. And that's the same thing that this other bunch is doing to
exactly,
us.
exactly.
But
And
one
sadly,
day, Mr.
Leonard,
Wade,
and
one
sa-
day, let's hope that we live long enough so we can see
hope
it
and
for
pray,
ourselves.
hope and pray. I pray to
Justice
the
will be had.
Almighty every day for that. And sadly, my people, we do not have an opposition. I mean, we are paying them. They are paid opposition.
This, they should have some shame to be collecting a
What?
salary for a job that they're not doing.
I think
That's obtaining
money by fouls,
false pretext.
right?
Okay, they're not fulfilling their obligation and they're taking the salary.
It's not Shine borrow money. It's not Dean borrow money. not the UDP money. You're getting paid by the taxpayers of this country
Mm-hmm.
on what you guys are doing.
Nothing.
Like some little girls, they quarrel amongst each other. They quarrel for power, quarrel for who for be leader, right? They quarrel against each other, right? Like some little school, little kindergarten children behave better than
They don't know their
right?
history, Mr. Wade. They don't know
So
their history. That
I
was the
say this,
basis of
Leonard.
that was the basis of the 1969 problem
It's,
with Mr. Lindo and Mr. Golson, that Mr. Lindo is supposed to discipline Mr. Golson and kick Mr. Golson out of politics on behalf of foreign interests because Mr. Golson dared to expose what was happening with the 17 proposals. So that was an assignment that Mr. Lindo was supposed to take care of, but he couldn't win because the people trusted Mr. Golson more than they trusted him. And after we created the UDP, for 30 odd months, he was heeing and hawing because he wants to be leader. All kind of internal contravention was going on. As a matter of fact, he could have become not only just leader of the party, he could have become the first prime minister right out of the block. The first time the UDP went to election. But he chose to play hanky-panky with the money, and as a result, we lost 4 seats where we should have win. And at the
so
end of the day, Mr. Barrow came in and behaved the same way. Now he got his son, who is also Mr. Finnegan's nephew, as well as Mr. Dean Lindo grandnephew, following the same footsteps and carrying on the same shenanigans, all about power. To
exactly.
hell with the country. And as far as he's concerned right now, to hell with the party also, because it seemed to me like he wants, in order for him to maintain his control, he on dispatch everybody else in the party that is adverse to his existence there. He never made that party. He feel like because he put on a few dollars in on the party recently, that means that he buy and own the party. He crazy or he stupid? Which one?
So Leonard,
I yield back,
I
sir.
say that they are doing a disservice to the taxpayers and the Belizean public. Disservice, Mr. Man, right? You had, before I close off this little runt here, right? Mr. Man, you had said in your party, on your last party convention, that you don't want nobody contest you until after the next election.
And that
So
was
what that
illegal.
is trying to say now, you're
Mr.
trying
Chairman,
to
that
secure
was illegal.
yourself. Leonard, you mentioned something about power.
I
This
wrote that
man is
constitution,
saying,
Mr. Wade. I was one of 3 people that wrote that constitution. So when I tell you that the man made an illegal move and power play, which is then why these people now are against him for that, he should not have done that. And there are people in the party that should have known better, such as the current chairman, who is also a lawyer. He should not have allowed that to happen. But for a few dollars here and there, these jackals are willing to bend all the rules, destroy the party if necessary, just because they can't control it, and they don't want nobody else end up controlling it.
so my
What
take,
does that do for the country? The country needs an opposition, and a viable one at that. But anyhow, that's
so
something that I need to
Leonard,
take
my
up.
take on that is only Rudy Wade take. That all you are buying is time. So you cahooted with Briseño about turning Belize into a republic.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the opposition will be if you loses, Mr. Briseño, if the people say they don't want you, you only be me. So I
Yeah,
will be the next president. So
yeah,
that's why he said it to his minion, to his people in his party. He paid
exactly.
off whatever, whatever. Please, there will be no party convention until after. You hear this word,
The
after
general
the
election.
next general election. What is that telling you, Mr. Man?
Craziness. Craziness.
So, man, listen. Sometimes they say fool talk, but not fool listen, right? So I don't know Who they follow you, or how you get these people mindset for change, for follow you, for say this stupidness what you they do when Belize needs a valuable and strong opposition, which you are not providing for the people. So why don't you just demit, right? That's the only best thing you should do, right? Why I'm ranting because I'm a taxpayer, right? And my tax dollars go to your salary, Mr. Man, whether I 1 cent,
But
two
it can't
cents.
be that, Mr. It can't be that these people are so hard up for funds or money that they won't take the taxpayers' money, whether or not they represent them properly with and keep the party or the opposition under discipline,
So
serving the purpose of the PUP
exactly.
party staying in power for another election.
So hence the reason why, Leonard, my people at home and abroad, this man Brisenio, on his latest speech on his grand rising there in Orange Walk, he said, I don't care, we not got no opposition. I could call election anytime.
Mm-hmm.
That come from that man. That's what a venom that man spewed out, right? You could call it November, December, January, tomorrow, and he ain't win because we not got no opposition in this country, right? So that's why I say, Mr. Shineborough, you should just demit, right? And let a strong opposition arise, right? Right now, you are just blocking the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you are doing. So, Mr. Man, this is just how I feel. You could not like it. You could like it. Personally, I don't give a hoot. I just say the way I see, right? So sad, Leonard, that we have private citizens, like for instance, the group of Mr. Paul Morgan,
Mm-hmm.
has to take the government, for we government, the people. Mr. Paul Morgan have to take the people to court because of redistricting, where
He's doing the
he
opposition work. The
did
opposition they get paid, and he they do the work.
exactly. And then the people, they fight the people. Leonard,
Mm-hmm.
the people, the government, which is the people, they fight the people. Mr. Paul Morgan taking this initiative to the court for the people. A job that, Mr. Man, you all are not doing. So, so sad that you have to take a group of private citizens to take the government to court to do, Leonard, what they should be doing, mandated to do as per the constitution of this country.
Kudos to
That's
Mr.
the thing
Morgan.
that gets me.
Kudos to Mr. Paul Morgan and his colleagues,
I big up.
and we should we
My
should we
hat
should
goes
actually be
off.
saying thanks to them for at least stepping up to the plate and attempting to give us a reprieve or some kind of a constitutional redress, because it won't happen otherwise.
Won't happen otherwise. And it's all about my people, poor and less fortunate, and Belizean and voters. It's all about for so we got equal representation, in all the constituency,
Mhm.
It's for uno.
That's what the Constitution says.
It's for uno. This group of private citizens who know they get paid by the taxpayers' money. These guys are fighting for uno, for we, the Belizean populace, fighting for something that we deserve. Not should I'm here. What? So we deserve it. We deserve equal representation in this country, which we do not have.
Mr. Chairman, I bet you right now, if Mr. Jackal called the early election, okay, and Mr. Morgan and his colleagues, they would like to be able to participate in the electoral process and hopefully win so that they can have some extra sway or ability to make a difference, our people will not be voting for them. You are hearing the holler about Keviva PUP, okay, or Keviva UDP, the jackals them that are actually doing us the ills, okay? They're actually doing evil as far as I'm concerned. But the people will still vote them back in. Instead of trying to get a change, experiment with a change, and see if we could move forward with betterment.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is me.
So Leonard, I say this to say that it's a great injustice. Injustice that past and present government, this two-party system, have been doing to the voting populace and have been doing to this country. And all for what, Leonard? All for what?
Dinero.
Greed. And they want to be people to look on them and call them Mister, my minister,
And
my
honorable.
represent, my
Honorable.
minister, my honorable. Well, that word is not in my vocab because none of you is honorable in my book.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, my people, all for what these people are doing, what they're doing to you, man. Right? So I say this to say, and I'm going to finish on this, is that there's a new group called the Belizean Justice Movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Belizean Justice Movement that's gonna rise in the next election. So please support this group. They're not tied to no PUP. They're not tied to no UDP. I know how to tell you. Take it from the horse's mouth. They are not a lover of a PUP name and are not a lover of a UDP name. They are about Belizeans. They are about people and country. Believe it or not.
How are we going to get a change if the people don't want to make a change, Mr. Wade?
Exactly.
Why can't people realize
So,
that or understand that part? It's a very simple proposition.
and we are about social justice matter. Social justice matter. Because that's a matter that been thrown under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So in everywhere where social justice is concerned, this group is about social justice, equal justice for all. And you could get them at 631 4071. If you want some more information, call 631 4071. They will give you information, anything that you want to know about this group. That's for the next general election. Whether Mr. Man you call it November, December, like you say, that group will be ready. So when you go to the polls, you know and see one red and one blue there, right? You know see a next color, okay? So you have choices. So
People
not
should
say we
start
never
pay
see one
attention
next.
from now, though, instead of wait till the last minute.
Exactly. Right? So that is what is to come. And I say I will break it here tonight, Leonard, that this group will be ready, right? And we are trying to have a representative in each constituency, right? And I know name brand people are people from among your own self. Poor people, mom and pops, the everyday man, one out of the crowd when they're there, right? No name brand.
So they
Like
don't have their hand, Mr. Weird. They don't have their hand in the government treasury yet.
they do not have their hands in the government coffers, right? Like those
So,
jackals that they're there, and
so the
as I
one that were,
speaking,
the current one that we got their hands in the treasury, and they collect extra money from other private sources as well, right? disposing of our national patrimony or assets, lands and other assets, and getting kickback and money for finance the campaign, they are the ones that's going to have the money to give out during the election. Because then they prepare and then they pile up that money. So that money does not belong to them in the first instance, it belongs to the people. People are in need, and then keep people in need for these occasions. So they could come around and suborn them and get them vote for them for a few dollars, and then they run off into the wilderness for another 5 years and you never see them.
And my people,
People have
Leonard,
to start change their mindset.
exactly.
Otherwise, they continue to get the same results over and over and over.
Exactly. And my people, like you just said, Leonard, my people, who are you seeing on the ballot box for the umpteen years? Who are the names that are there? Right? Who are the names? Who are the titles? It's not them that then grand picnic or then picnic or then picnic. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But same that same carnage that they are inflicting. The carnage is their name. That's the carnage. And you keep, oh, that one Musa, you know, but I know the same Musa, that one ex Musa. I'm just calling that name, right? Because it comes from the father now to the son, and son, and it will travel. That name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, you know, I know that's stupidness.
Bring back some of the money.
You understand me? You
The
see,
money is,
Barrow?
the money is piled up and
I'm
guaranteed for
just
them
saying.
to pay for the election for
You
years to
see,
come.
Barrow? Who you see now? His son.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm just, hey, open on your eyes now. When you want them for rule for the next umpteen centuries where they come, rule this country, that same name.
Papa Doc.
Come on, man. What happened to the other people, other Belizeans, you know, in the community who want to offer themselves? What happened to these people? Aren't they good enough to serve you?
Well, you see what the pupil then just did?
Huh?
You see what the pupil then just did? Spend $1.25
Wow.
million to get one foreigner elected and put in at the House of Representatives to be for we boss.
You
That's the
understand
kind
what
of
I'm
trust they
saying?
have in our local people. That's the
You
love one they
see?
have for the local people.
You see?
Make the
No, we
foreigners
are
then run
just
and control your
we are
affairs.
shedding light, you know, Leonard, and a lot of people know this, you know. But for some reason,
They don't care about it.
they don't, right?
They're indifferent
You know,
until they're
they
ready to
say
find the next meal. Then they
the
want to
only
come to
phrase, you know,
me and you
Leonard.
and the same other people that want to dismiss. Come. Like, okay, some of we people in back home, they go credit for the local Belizean shopkeepers them, and then they go spend in salary that the Chinese people them, or the Indian people them, or the Arab people them. And then they owe money to we local Belizean shopkeepers them, when they having an exercise book, when they're supposed to go pay when they get their salary. And they want to come back and credit again after that salary don't pay to the other people them, and the money run out because the other people don't give them nothing when the money run out. Then come right back again after we see and Belize people them with their sub stories to see if they could get another credit. What's wrong with free people? Are you back, Mr.
Wow.
Chairman?
Wow. Leonard, I'm say something about the leaf phrase what they say.
Uh-huh.
When a mule, they say a mule are the hardest thing for control, but I beg to differ now. But they say when a mule hold the head that way, they
Mm-hmm.
no care how you beat on in a big, it's very hard. You hear
Mm-hmm.
that saying, Leonard?
That's
I don't
why.
know. Right? Very hard to control a mule.
That's why they call him one Jack, Mr. Wade.
Okay? Right?
That's why they
So
call him one Jack.
I'm just, you know, saying that, right? But I don't, it doesn't mean that in any bad way.
You could finish up the phrase.
Yes, man. No, we tired. Aren't we tired of getting licked over and over, man? Come on, man. Support this new group in the next election, man. Although Uno might like that person because they no name brand. But man, come on. That are the man when taken out of poverty, the woman when taken out of poverty and went on to sell out the land. Right now on the pay off Ashcraft. Now on the pay off we don't know the taxpayers' money to anybody.
I
No.
understand.
That we don't hear the millions yet, man, but
Or
that
go
is coming.
or getting
Right?
a business, getting a private business, and say that we take over one private concern from somebody else, we give it to another private concern, and we have spent for you money, time, effort, and everything, and suborn the whole countries so that the rest of the world could know we for who we really are according to them.
Exactly.
But they could care
So
less. Because
so
they collect for them peace.
so my people and Leonard, I just hope that this government does not hold an illegal election, right? Does not hold, facilitate, or call another illegal election because they had called two illegal elections as per the constitution of this country, right? But do they care? So I just hope and pray they do not call another illegal one, right? So I say this to say that
The judge ruled and said that they meet the compliance of Section 90. I don't know how the judge arrived at that statement, but that's what the judge said. So for all
exactly.
intents and purposes, maybe that judge was trying to make sure that they don't get into no problem with the
And
government and
Leonard,
they get fired by the government.
we had said a little while back that we hope and pray that this constitution reform agenda that
Fall on
this
PS.
People United Party have failed. We've
Well, so
been
far it
saying
has
it,
failed.
we've
So
been
far it
saying
has
it, we've
failed.
been saying it, and we'll keep saying it. Hope that it fails, Mr. Man. Right? My people, don't forget now that we are still in the hurricane season. Please protect yourself, your loved ones, and let's not forget COVID is alive and well.
Hmm.
Never did gone. It gone away because of money. They weren't getting the money. That's why they announced the cases. But COVID, my people, is still alive and well in Belize. Okay, so protect yourself and your loved ones. The government is not going to do it for you. So be very mindful. So I say this to say also, Leonard, that there's a talk, a news item, public talk by one Mr. Vaughan from the Belize City Council that they will be asking the little mechanics, them who no license themselves, they will be charged. They need to get license. And he went on to say, and you see, because we have been removing derelict vehicles and all this and clean up the so now, Mr. Man, you want
Yeah, impoverish
the
people even
poor
more.
mechanic man who can't even buy one spanner to go get one license because you know they remove derelict vehicle. Man, that you know damn job. Why you know
And they are
have to go?
and they are misspending money. So they have put other people under more pressure now. With none of the survive and try find a way to survive.
The-
You are knock out the needs for underneath them people.
exactly. So they are
To what
saying,
end?
Leonard, that these people have to go and get a license. They have to go and pay whatever that fee is at the city council, at town council, or I mean, you're talking Belize City right now. Go and pay for that license. If not, you will be charged. Of course, you return one spanner without one license, not one charge, right? So I just watched that publicly a few days ago, Leonard. So
Turning people into scofflaws to violate the laws of the city, like what they do, or the
So
laws
remember that
of the country.
taxation in the villages where they sit,
Yeah,
they,
that's
they,
this is
they
what it's
leave
all
village
about.
councillors when have to collect Go
This
collect
is
from
what
the
it's
vendors and
this
thing.
is what it's
Now
all
it,
about.
there
That's
you
what they're
go.
implementing.
There you go.
To make them make more hustle. And if they
There you
can't hustle
go.
and you can't hustle to make them could go on part of your hustle,
There you
that
go.
means that you gotta be turned into a criminal. You have to end up they go to court
So
back and forward and spend money you not got to feed your family and yourself. And then they provide no jobs and opportunity for the country to develop. They could care less. They don't want to hear that. Dance to fit in tune. Otherwise, go jump in at the canal and drown yourself. Bunch of idiots.
so that's just a little light I'm shedding out there, Leonard. Warning to the, you call them street side mechanic though, Leonard, or
Yes, sir. Yes,
backyard
sir.
mechanic, right? I have a lot of that in this country, smart guys.
They don't have
Very
no
smart. They
opportunity.
don't got all the technology or computer, but them body smart.
That's why they survive. So you can stop them
Okay.
from being able to survive
So
now.
now,
You won't provide for them.
that is coming in the city if it's not already. Okay. So in this economy now, past and present government, right? Who are the ones profiting in this Belizean economy, right?
Not the masses or the people.
Who are the ones profiting? Who they get all the goodies, right? That's my question to you know, my people, because your prime minister said the economy is blooming, inflation is on an all-time low. You don't have to worry about nothing. They stop price gouging. They do all the good things, right? But here they said they lower the price of gas, though, that part, but they up to price gouging right now, right? When in fact we know damn well that that's so. Every week you go to the Chinese grocers, who the poor people, when the prices keep going up every week.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they say, Leonard, that they're on top of the price gouging, right? So I say this to say that, do you believe, my people, anything that these people say? Do you believe anything that your leaders are saying to you, right? For me, I don't believe nothing they say, nothing at all, right? Because all what they do, they let you hear what they think you want to hear, what they think you want to hear. So they just put it out there to you, right? And make you grab that, bite that, and run with it. And it's all is good. So nothing they say, I believe. So you hear the Prime Minister say that, Leonard, he now involved in a private business, right? He said it publicly, right? So
Yes, sir.
why they do with this deal here with Feinstein then? Why they do with the deal with Portico then? Right? Are these not
Uh,
private?
Mr. Chairman, it is trample upon our local Belizeans' opportunity to make a living and dispossess them of that capability and assets to favor another foreigner and turn that man asset over to the foreigner.
So my people, Leonard, look what and look how these people had used our government coffers. Look how they use the taxpayers' money. Look how they use the people's assets. Look how they use our natural resources for their own personal
I have
gain.
some I have some alert things going off in the background, so we are sorry for the
Yes,
disturbance, sir.
yes, yes, yes.
But
See, a lot of them,
if
Leonard,
I
they
know
try to.
if I know attend to it, and go off,
Yes,
because it's a mandatory and a requirement that to follow through and pay attention, and so
yes,
they capture you and then all let you go unless with
yes,
emergency
exactly.
stuff.
My
Sorry,
people, both
go
at
ahead.
home and abroad, a lot of people out there, they do not like how we talk. They try all kind of things to silence us, right? But God is good, right? We will keep bringing to you the happenings. We'll keep calling out the ills. We'll keep calling out corruption. We will lobby for a better Belize, right? We will be lobbying always for the poor and less fortunate. We will be standing up for equal justice for all. Always we will be doing it that, and no one will silence us.
You could say that a
My
little louder.
people,
You could say that again, but a little louder, Mr. Wade, so they could hear you.
yes,
So
they
they could
try
hear
to
you.
silence us, I say it, but you all will fail. Only one man, the Almighty, the man above, that's the only man that is going to silence us from calling out the social ills and the injustice and the corruption, right? Because there is a lot of that in this country. Too much. But I call on the other media houses to start calling out some of these injustice, right? And calling out and start calling out the corruption, blatant, public. That's what you media house should be doing. You should be flagging this last land deal. That's what you Love FM, Channel 5, Channel 7, all should be flagging this without any fear because it's wrong. And all the other ills and corruption blatantly that our elected leaders have been doing. On that note, Leonard, I want to sign up. I want to pass over to you, Leonard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wade, Mr. Chairman. Um, it baffles me that our people, at different level of our society, some people who are very astute, knowledgeable, smart, they have the wherewithal and the ability to be able to help make a difference in the country, but they refuse to participate to effectively get the country a change that is badly needed, and instead then go ahead and sit on the side and watch all the things that are happening in our country and pretend that, well, you don't bother them, or it's not about them, so therefore why should they be engaged, or why should they try to be helpful to the cause? In fact, some of them don't care if Belize remain as a country or with their own local governance, because whatever is left of Belize after the Guatemala claim is over, then figure, okay, whatever is left then could still survive in there anyhow. So what, there is no need for them to be bothered. They don't live on the south side, where most of the so-called crime is being committed according to them. So then why worry? They fail to remember that a lot of the north side people have gangs and have alleys and have crime going on in the neighborhood as well. In fact, I can remember a few times when some of these gangs was barging into people's house around by um, Kings Park area there, while people were at home, and then tie up people and ransack them place. So you play the fool and pretend like, well, it's not bothering you, and you aid and abet the furtherance of the same criminality. It becomes ingrained, and at some point it does affect you. But at that time, there's nobody to come to your rescue or to come and help you or look after you. Belizeans need to wake up. Your government is not an ethical government that is interested in the welfare and the issues of governance. They're only interested in going to the house and asking for more money, on top of money, on top of money, get loans, and the projects or the things them that they so-called get the loans them for is never completed. Either it stalls and gets taken for too long to complete, or election come and another party win and the other party not carry on and finish successfully the project where the previous party start, or then reassign the money to some other thing and the previous project get lost in the woods. These things are happening over and over and over. Our resources is being mismanaged and it's being appropriated onto these people. And you, the Belizean people, is expected to not have nothing to say or do. If you say anything, you criticize them, and you shouldn't have to be criticizing them, because once they get the power of governance, you should just abide by whatever is it that comes out of their head and just move on. And if they do something wrong, pretend like you never see, hear, or know anything about it. I don't know. The phrase or saying that only the people could save the people fits exactly our situation in that country currently. Only the Belizean people could help and save the Belizean people. Because you aid and abet the government for the disenfranchised Belizeans abroad, so we can't come to the rescue. All we could do is send only money for once in a while. But even that we have to stop do. Because by doing that, we aid and abet the same situation anyhow. When we think we try aid we family members, friends, and loved ones. Because we get fleas, that we go out there and bust the boat and make the money. To send it back for make them other one and steal it for one or chance, And we get tired of that. We're getting tired of that. The government is waging political warfare against we. Our only option is to secure for we future and wage economic warfare against the government. Three years ago, one letter was supposed to have been sent to the government notifying them that as of that point in time when they received that letter, the money where they come from out of states is not going to cease, but it's going to get diminished. But what happened? COVID was there. The economic downfall came about. The hurricanes then came about. So people had to keep on pumping money to help the situation. But it's getting intolerable now. They don't want to hear what we have to say. They just want to collect the money that we work hard to get, and then sit down and receive easily, misspend, and also have the other users there, chance there, so that they can stretch their money, and then after they holler for more money quicker. That's intolerable. You can't keep that up. We cannot finance our own demise. We are human beings too, and we need to be looked out for. And like some people say, you have to look after yourself and be in a situation where you could help yourself before you could look out for other people and help other people. And we are rapidly
Amen to
getting to
that.
that stage where people are now becoming frustrated with the process and are starting to become indifferent. And once that indifference sets in, it's going to be hard to break. So Belizeans, all I have to say to you, wake up, pay attention, demand accountability from your government, or you end up to suck your finger by yourself. Because I know everybody out there will continue to just get marginalized, get chanced, and get chanced through you guys back there. Whether the first one will jump and say, well, the who, so you abandon the country or you abandon the people, and therefore you're not supposed to have any rights like all the other rest of Belizeans, even if you're born there. The bottom line, the Constitution says that all are we are one, and we're all entitled to the same rights. Nobody should be derogated or treated any different from the other. When in fact, not only are we not getting treated like everybody else, you got the foreigners that come in and they get treated better than you, the one where they sit down back the Belize there, they suck on the finger like I always say. When you see them people come, they own stores. In fact, they come without no money in their pocket. They come with just some credit from abroad. Then go to the bank with the credit, then get money, then set up one business. Next thing you see, they have two, three, four business. They send for other relatives who can help them take care of the other business them. And then they move in and move on and succeed. While the local Belizeans then they get disappeared off the scene. And complaining isn't going to help that. You got to do something about it. So my challenge to you Belizeans at home, get on the butt up, start fend for yourself. Then other people will take compassion for you and help you fend for yourself. But don't expect us out here to fend for you while they disrespect we and dishonor we and dismiss we rights. That's all I have to say for tonight on this particular series of points. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. No, there are lots of social ills going on in this country, Leonard, right? And like you says, only the people could save the people, right? I can't see, what is so hard in doing the right thing. You know, if over the years that they say your leaders better, sit there and they do better, you know, why
You need to change.
why you continue why you continue to support that kind of evil or that kind of corruption or that kind of not deserve you or that kind of not the way for do, right? And we see it repetitiously. So, and I'm pretty sure, Leonard, to every time these people go to the polling station in any way, there are other people out there, right? There are other names that's on these ballots, but they just like, man, just gravitate.
Mr. Chairman, they want to be with the winners.
Yes,
That are the
you
cheaper than
know,
play pan there, and then it's a reverse psychology game.
I say
Stay up on track.
stay on track. I'm saying is that every election
Oh man.
they come with the same shenanigans. Man, I will give you this. Whole year, see only 50 year. These people mindset, man. These people they hurry pay on off so that you could make them rich
Mr.
over
Chairman,
and over and
Mr.
over.
Chairman, the Brazilian government to tell the people stay up on track.
Stay on
The
track.
Musa government tell them get on the train. Remember that one?
Yes,
Remember that one long time ago?
yes. The blue
Get on the
train.
train.
The blue train. I remember that
Oh
very
man.
good.
And people will fall for their craziness there.
Right.
Even as us today did so many years after. Come on, man.
And
A
another
man, a man could
thing,
tell me in our face we not got no talent.
another
I
thing
laugh
that
out away.
that irks me, or maybe only me, right?
Sorry.
When one street has been fixed in a village or in a town or something, you know what they say, Leonard? My minister, the fix, my minister,
They not say
thanks
your
to
tax
my
dollars at work.
minister,
They not
whether
say your tax
UDP or
dollars at work.
PUP.
They not tell the people it's your tax dollars at work.
There you go. See the mindset, Leonard, you see the mindset? And
Bamboozlers.
now the politicians don't know that, Leonard, so they go and take one picture by the grader, or the
Mm-hmm.
man with the shovel,
Mm-hmm.
or the one where they sweep the street, or the one where they nail one nail. They do it all the time.
And then
And
only for
then
and they don't
the
lift a finger to get it done.
Jan Public out there, my minister, my
Unless they are
UDP
doing something
minister,
for the
my
side and eat
PUP
it back.
minister. Man, we need to stop that. Because if we never know, it's like then I just say, it's a taxpayers' dollars, and they are getting paid to work it. They are getting paid. Nothing they come out on a minister pocket. In fact, in the day out there, they see how he could squeeze the lead deal so he could put something in it for him pocket.
Mr. Chairman, can I say something on the program here right now? I think
Go
I want to
ahead,
enlighten
Leonard.
a few people. I know everybody I want to enlighten, but I think I might enlighten a few people. If the government would have collect all the taxes that is due to the government, they would be in a much better position of not having to the pressure people and collect such a high level of taxation. Just go out and get the money that rightfully belongs to the government coffers, to the people, so to speak. Then they don't have to tax the people so high. But then tax high because they don't go and get the money that belongs to the government. And even when they get money where belongs to the government, they misappropriate it and give it to the wrong people. So they still need money. So all I say, government, they go collect your money that is due. Stop to give unnecessary 5, 10, 15, 20 years tax break where people don't pay no taxes. Collect their
20 years,
taxes.
Leonard. 20, 25, 20, 25 years. You know,
And
we
not only
got
do these
20
people get concessions for 20 odd years, they
tax
also
break.
get other privileges and things accorded to them through the system. Then butter the right hand and then suborn people in the different ministries them or in the different departments them from top to bottom. And people know who go to figure where they want done. Like you said, our time is aware. The people are walking with a briefcase are the people get attended.
Of course, every time. To every
And that's
time, Leonard.
and that's very true.
Right. So, I say this to say that is your government working for you? Is your representative working for you? Right. Only you could only you could decide that, right? Because maybe we don't like what they do, right? But in my book, they are not working for you. They don't have your best interest. In fact, that street where them where they where you know the big up on the minister about, the amount of money they get to fix that little area there? And guess what? You know who they fix it? I don't know. Sometimes I want to own taxpayers, or own public servants to fix this where we done the pay, but then don't go and then get so much thousands of dollars to fix that one lease spot when we already done the pay these people to fix it, but then gonna appropriate fund for do that, right? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, right? But yet, you say, my minister the work. In the right there to see how he could thief something or put something in a pocket. If the
Well,
place called for 50
well,
dump
Mr. Weir,
of sand and gravel, he gonna try cut it to 20.
and
So
send the
that he
rest of
that other amount divert somewhere else.
send the rest of him backyard or
Okay?
some friend
If you don't
backyard.
know, I don't know, I don't want
People
open
know,
on
you know.
why,
People
right?
know. Because some of the same
Come
people when they
on.
get one lead chocolate of this and chocolate of that. They know where they're going.
You see? You see now in the community right now, the greater the push. What you think? Who you think the work there? It's your tax dollars. But what they do, they go to the house and they say, you see, street number one, I want so much thousands of dollars to fix street number one. Right? When in fact, that thousands of dollars not going for street number one. Because one, it's your it's the people's assets. The greater belongs to the people. Uh, eh, Everything they get is given to them. They go to the quarry, right? You think they pay all when I said they pay for their load of sand and gravel,
Mm-mm.
right? But what I'm trying to say is that all and they try for do the hustle, right? Which it shouldn't be that way. If they get $50 to put on the street, they should put the damn $50 on the street, not 20 and pocket 30. I'm just saying this because I don't see.
How you think
right?
so? They end up with so many houses when they won afterwards.
We don't call name,
I
right?
could. I could.
Then do it all the time.
I could.
Then do it all the time.
You know I like call names, Mr. Wade.
Back to Uncock, Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Back to Uncock. So I want to get away right now, but down the road might not be lucky. Not be lucky, right? So my people,
And
you
explain
gotta
well.
open your eyes, man. Those who have ears, let them hear, and those who have eyes, let them see. And please, when you start to call out wrongdoing, man, not condone these kind of corruption, man. Right? The last time you hear this man Briseño on the election up here, on a tape, publicly, how much he gonna pay the Guatemalans to come vote, and how much shirt he will give, how much blue shirt he was gonna give, and how much he was gonna pay each one of them to come and vote. Huh?
And,
What kind of, who does that?
and how much manifesto?
Yes. Who does that, Leonard?
People that are anti-Belizean.
You
They
understand
go
what
and
I'm
recruit
saying?
foreigners to take over the Belizeans themselves.
Publicly, you hear this man, from my mouth. It's the venom that came out of his mouth. And that's only now. What happened to previous and all the other elections? Past and present government does the same thing. Right? Then just look for the votes from Melchor and from Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
They run race for that at the border. I've always called on the media to go at the border. Did they go? Right?
Then bring bus loads.
Injustice.
Then bring bus loads of them people. Pick up loads,
Exactly.
car loads. The
Public
busitos there,
knowledge,
they come
Leonard,
full. And
and
they
my
go back
people.
empty.
Public knowledge, and yet we have people from other countries, other part of the world come witness the election, who
Mm-hmm.
oversee the election,
But they don't know the
right?
difference. They don't understand what's
You
going on
understand
right
what I'm
under
saying?
their nose.
Wow. So all these things, man, we need to start to call out these things. Why can't we hold our own election? You know, our own people vote. Why are we accepting other people from other part of the world to come and vote? Right? Especially a country that does not respect the sovereignty of this country and the territorial integrity of this country.
And
Then they come vote in.
specifically
And
says
then as they don't vote, my people, both at home and abroad, I see with my own eyes as they finish vote, the little custodian will bring them, roll them back in the bus, give them their money, and that bus, they don't hang up in a car here, Leonard. They roll right back to the border, right? I see it with my own eyes. So is this what you want to continue to see, man? So again, Leonard, we kudos to Mr. Paul Morgan and that crew that is fighting for equal representation,
and equal
right?
justice.
And redistricting because it's long overdue. I think it's like 20 years, Leonard, back,
Yes, sir.
right?
More than
If
20.
I'm not,
A little bit more than 20.
maybe, right? Well, let's leave it as 20 years. They should have done this 20 years ago, my people. Redistricting should have been done 20 years ago. Come on. And yet,
There's a requirement, Mr. Wade,
yes,
that they're supposed to do it
constitution.
after every census.
After every
They should
census,
use the census information for them to be able to
yes,
do it.
yes,
So it's not
yes.
that they don't have the information, they have the information. But the people them in the department just bend to political pressure
Well, you see this,
and they do
you
what is
mentioned,
convenient for the government in power.
Leonard, the amount of census people will pass wrong and up and down every year. But what they use that for? For their political mischief.
Mm-hmm.
A census shouldn't be used for that, but that's what it's used for, right? Because you mentioned census and you're so right, right? But what they use it for their political mischief, PUP and UDP, right? when they come to your house. They want to know who you vote for too, Leonard.
And
Right?
oh, okay, since you can
Yes!
touch, Mr. Wade, Mr. Chairman, since you touched that part about them wanting to know who you vote for, do you know that the vote is considered to be sacrosanct? Okay,
Sacred. Your vote should be sacred.
but do you know? I'm telling you something that goes on that most people don't know. The ballots that you cast when you go to the pool are being reviewed after they have been collected and put in the Department
Oh, yes.
of Elections and Boundaries for safekeeping. The party in governance power have access to those ballots, and they can always know after the fact who voted where, when, and how, and for whom.
Exactly.
And that's illegal. But it's a regular practice in government, in the affairs of Belize. And a lot of people don't realize or know that.
Some might know Leonard, but they could care less. They don't get a $50 and $100, right? You know, so sad. So, Leonard, it's always a pleasure. I want to give a closing, and always a time is of an essence. And the conversation get heated, and I just hope that we vent.
I defer to you for your closing, Mr. Wade, for tonight. I've said enough so far. I don't think I should belabor what I've said before because it's not that people don't hear or don't know. I would hope that they run with some of it and think it through, do additional research, and maybe help teach themselves because a lot of people they hear what we say, but some of what we say sometimes don't meet the level of comprehension or expectation, and therefore they dismiss, so they don't get the full benefits, and that's unfortunate. But as a blood sworn vanguard of my country, I'm not ready to give up yet. I'll persist a little bit more. Thank you very much, Mr. Wade, for tonight's program
Thank you.
and for the participation you allow me to partake in. And I'd like to turn it back over to you, sir, for your final closing.
Thank you, Leonard. It's always a pleasure to sit in your company.
Same here, sir.
You're totally a patriotic Belizean and a vanguard of your country, your birth country.
Until I
Likewise,
die.
myself. Likewise, myself.
That's the blood contract I signed in my own blood.
And
So that's until I die. I don't have an option out of that particular one.
I know, Leonard, from the time we have been sitting together, I know that they won't silence you. They will not silence you. And likewise, myself.
It's not because they haven't been trying, but they could keep on
Exactly.
trying as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. They will never
Because
silence me.
when I have to go and get to in order to silence me, will require a lot of them paying the price, and that's unfortunate.
I will not banter much on that, but I know that they will never silence me. I'll always speak my mind, the way I feel, how I feel, what I see, how I see it, and what I think about it. That's me.
I'll
My
just cap that
people,
off by saying, Mr. Wade, when they can figure out the meaning of a three-letter word or acronym, then they could go ahead and make their move. MAD, mutual assured destruction. Once they could figure out what that means within the context of where I'm coming from and what I espouse all the time, they could make their move whenever they're ready. Others have tried and never succeed, and that doesn't mean that others will not continue to try.
I'll,
You're all welcome.
I'll
Good night,
say
Mr.
this.
Wade, and thank you very much for
Thank
such a
you.
lovely
I'll say
program,
this
sir.
to say, Leonard, that we are not about, belittling people or thing. There's nothing wrong with,
I'm about my country.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with the word PUP, There's nothing wrong with the word UDP, It's nothing wrong with those words. It's the jackals
Somebody,
that
somebody got to
associate
run the country,
their
Mr. Wade.
names with that
Somebody got to
party.
run the country. All I'm asking for is that
Exactly.
they do the best they can.
Right by people and stop the
Stop taking chance
favoritism.
of people.
I try to tell them, Leonard, that we all pay taxes. Everybody pays that. Not only a UDP pay taxes,
I
not
do.
only a PUP pay taxes. That's what I'm trying to say. They should serve all people equally. Why, when a UDP win, they turn out their claws?
Hmm.
Their claws. Why, when a PUP in government, they turn out their claws? Why?
Against the very same people that vote them in power.
Exactly against the
Bunch
very
of rascals.
same people. But anyway,
Good night, sir, and
I want to
God
say
bless
it's
and
always a
take
pleasure.
care.
I hope my the people are watching, and I hope that they will hold these people accountable for what they have done and continue to do to us and do to this nation, right? And be very vocal.
I'm hoping that we'll have a little, a special trick in the not too distant future, in terms of our platform presentation, I'm just giving that as a little heads up. I'm teasing basically, so that when it happens, at least we can say, well, this is what we were talking about.
Got you, got
Yeah.
you.
I don't want to spill the
So,
beans ahead
it's
of time.
always a pleasure to sit in your company, Leonard, and may God continue to bless us and give us the will, the courage to do what we do. And so, for the record, we are not getting paid to do what we do. We do it because we love our country and we love our people. That's why we do it, right?
Yes, sir.
We are not getting paid. So, on that note, and don't forget, my people, before I go, there is a new horizon, right? Belizeans justice movement is coming in your neighborhood, to your homes. You could get information 501 631 4071. If you are interested or want to know more or being curious, call that number. On that note, Leonard, I want to say good night
Good night, sir.
and good
God
night to
bless
our
the
viewers and
Belizean
listeners.
Belizeans at
It's
home and
always a
abroad.
pleasure. And don't forget, my people, only the people can save the people. I leave you all with that. Say good night.
Good night, sir. Thanks again for a great program, Mr. Wade. God bless, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure.